Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and today I'm going to teach you about codependency in your career. Okay, so codependency is a term that refers to when two people have a mutually unhealthy, mutually dependent relationship on each other. And normally the way that this comes about is somebody at some point makes the decision that they're going to sacrifice their values, that they're going to go live somebody else's life. And that may be out of fear. It may be out of a sense of obligation and feeling like they need to save the world. It may be because they don't believe in themselves, because they don't even trust themselves to know what it is that they want, right? But whatever it is, right, whatever the reasons are, they go down this path and they surrender their sovereignty, they surrender, following their heart, and they fit themselves into somebody else's mold. And, unfortunately, it is the tendency if somebody just gives themselves over and says, hey, listen, I'm going to do whatever I'm told to do. Most people will be like, okay, great, well, go do that then. And they'll just steer that person into their values. And so you now have this situation where you have some authority figure, right, who, is used to this person just doing whatever they want, right? This person who's, in the position of following the authority figure is looking for approval, for validation, right? And so, they do things that stress them out. They do things that, create issues. They are afraid to say no, right? They hide stuff, right? They bury all their resentment, and it creates this really unhealthy dynamic. And then the person who's the authority figure, they're like, hey, listen, all I have to do is, even if I just get the slightest bit irritated, that solves the problem, and they go do what they should be doing anyway, right? And so you get this very codependent relationship that occurs. Now, should this person who's now, and we'll call this person who's made themselves subservient, we're going to call them the martyr, right? So now the martyr's there, and they say, oh, everybody needs me, and they're trying to feed off of this validation, which doesn't really actually fill the hole. But so they're feeding off of this validation. They're convinced, hey, I'm sacrificing so much of myself, and they give themselves reason. I'm doing it for so-and-so, and I'm doing it for this great cause, and I'm doing it to save the world, and I'm doing it because of this. And, they give all these things. And then at some point, right, maybe they get promoted, the other person leaves, whatever. And now they find themselves in a position where they have somebody who's working for them. And they say, hey, I'm going to help this person. I'm going to show them what I did, right? And they try to kind of steer them along, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then they find themselves in a position where, hey, we've got to go do this thing. We've got to go save the children. We've got to go save the whales. We've got to go, whatever it is, right? Save the whatever, right? Or we've got to go fulfill this corporate mission and, deliver this thing and, make sure our shareholders get a return and build the best spoons in the world, whatever it is, doesn't matter. But they've got this mission, and they've got somebody working for them. And they say, hey, listen, you need to go do this and this and this and this. And they go and they offload to that person. And that person, if they've also made themselves subservient and they're coming in as a martyr, they now create the very same dynamic. And the person who is the martyr now becomes the tyrant. In some cases, they're not even aware of it. In some cases, they are aware of it, but they say, hey, they don't have it as bad as I did. I had to go through that, right? And then they start to justify it because that's what they went through, right? And they go from being the martyr to being the tyrant, and then in their mind, they're the savior because they're out there accomplishing this mission, right? But in reality, nobody here looks good. The first tyrant, even if they had the best of intentions, maybe they were all in on the mission too, has now corrupted this person who is working for them. The person who was the martyr was never happy, and now they've shifted into a role where they may still be playing the martyr above to get validation. They're out there trying to save the world or whatever so that they can get the validation of knowing that they're doing the right thing. But again, they're all seeking for this external validation rather than an internal sense of self, right? So that they're not fundamentally happy, and now they're doing the same thing that was done to them, and now you've got the martyr at the bottom, who's the new martyr, who's just going to be the next one in the chain, right? And so this whole martyr, savior, tyrant, delusional dynamic all comes out of the same codependency root of what happens when people refuse to get in touch with themselves and follow their values. Because when you do that, you're not going to participate if somebody tries to be a tyrant. You're not going to feel the need to save the world or to achieve some grand mission or build yourself up, because you're not going to need that validation. And you're not going to accept it if somebody, comes in and tries to treat you like that, and you're not going to feel the need to do it to anybody else. So if you want to escape codependency in your career, you've got to come back and get in touch with yourself. Hey everyone, if you found this video valuable, if you found a new perspective that's going to help you in your career or in your personal development, then I've got one more free gift for you. I've put together a free diagnostic quiz to help you figure out exactly where you are on the path to career freedom and what you need to do next. Just a few short multiple choice questions, and you're going to get a rating of where you stand in terms of your career fulfillment. How is your job affecting you? How much does it align with who you naturally are? With your financial success, and with your internal alignment, your own sense of inner peace, and how that plays out in your life. Additionally, it will also show you which toolboxes are going to help you achieve higher levels in the ratings that were most challenging for you, as well as what next steps you can take to make sure that you gain those skills and you get the rewards. So if you want to go take that quiz, just go to www.oculusinstitute.com/purposequiz. No lines, no spaces, no dashes, just www.oculusinstitute.com/purposequiz. I'm looking forward to seeing your results. I hope you get a lot out of it, and I'm looking forward to helping you take those next steps.